Okay, so it's about 10:30 on a Monday morning, and this car was dropped off on Saturday as a non-start, as a non-running, and here to be diagnosed and possibly fixed. However, when we started it, as you've seen at the start of this video, it really did want to pour out smoke from the exhaust and also the engine bay, and we thought at the time that that's not fuel, that's in fact coolant. Well, our Richard has done a few little tests this morning after seeing it quite smoky, and well, let's speak to our Richard.
Action. He's filming me for a change.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, so as Dan's already previously said, the car came in on Saturday, customer said he got some running issues, could we fix them basically and then map the car. Okay, that's fine, not a problem, drop it off, we'll have a look at it. He confessed on Saturday that basically he had a situation where the car started and ran, took the car for a run around the block, and then it's cut out on him. So he checks it. The cylinder's completely hydrolocked with fuel, which is a weird situation to be in. But anyway, so I've gone back through and I've checked these wires. Our number 2 cylinder, which is the cylinder he said had a problem, is actually that earth wire there. It's been crimped in something at some stage. So I think what happened there is during the installation, obviously the fitting, that wire got crimped somewhere.
Crushed against something.
Crushed against something. He took it for a drive. That's earthed out, which has then ran the injector flat out.
Yeah.
Which is what caused his initial problem, his initial failure. So since then, it's never ran right. Well, 2 things. One, he put a non-genuine MAF sensor in it, which was stopping us from being able to start the car on Saturday.
But we put a genuine one.
So we put a genuine one in, and the car fired up. We had the car running. Obviously, it was running lumpy, and it was absolutely pouring smoke out. Now, the exhaust at that point hadn't got hot. As soon as the engine was running, it was smoking. So it looked like sort of coolant. It didn't smell of oil to me. It looked like coolant. We've pulled the plugs out this morning, put a bore scope down, obviously had a look. Number 2 cylinder, I can see what I believe is evidence of coolant in there. Obviously it's wet, the other 3 look okay. I've also pulled the plugs which Dan's taken pictures of, and 4 plugs are burnt like you would obviously expect. One is crystal clear like it's brand new, which is obviously the amount of coolant that's being washed over the...
Now that's because that one wasn't actually burning.
Yeah, that one wasn't burning. That cylinder wasn't firing, but it was obviously compressing and sort of burning enough to a point to burn antifreeze basically, which is what we were obviously seeing. I believe what's happened is when that cylinder's hydrolocked, it's lifted the head. So it may have bent a rod, it may still have a bent rod, but I believe it lifted the head. That obviously damaged the head gasket. Now we're getting coolant into the cylinder, which is why obviously it doesn't run very well, and plus also it would explain as well why it's difficult to start, because you're starting on 3 cylinders.
Sure.
And obviously you've not got compression out. Haven't done a compression test on it because I don't feel there's any point in carrying on and costing the customer any more money. I think this engine's done. It would certainly need stripping and inspecting con rods to make sure they're not bent, and it would certainly need a head gasket on it and checking the valves and things like that. Really, by the time you get to that stage and you're spending that level of money, well, you might as well be just putting a replacement engine in there.
Okay.
Which is unfortunate for the customer, I appreciate, but it's here to be diagnosed, and that's what we're...
And diagnosed it has been.
Yeah, diagnosed it has been, so...
Okay, so next step probably then, speak to the customer and offer him another engine.
I think this car will go away and he will fix it, and then we will have it back. I think that's exactly how this will go down.
Okay.
Because he's done all the work himself, so he's not going to pay someone else to do the work when he's capable of doing the job and putting it in a conversion car as well. So I believe it will leave us today, and we'll see it back with a healthy new engine in there.
Fantastic. Okay.
Right.
Thank you, Richard.
No problem. It's burning nothing, because it's just burning coolant.
Yeah.
Or it's just putting coolant through. The plug's clean as fuck as well. So that cylinder's getting that isn't burning in that cylinder at all.
No.
And that car was running on Saturday. So we've got a problem on that as well.
And I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast.